Hi, Anitas and Ryan here. I want to take a look for a few minutes at this phrase, knowledge is power, because it's something I've heard mentioned quite a few times in the last week. And I want to invite you to consider that knowledge is not power. And just to give you an example of that, I have a few people in my life at the moment who I consider to be very knowledgeable, highly intelligent in many areas. And yet when I then look at their lives, I see a distinct lack of fulfillment and what I would describe as emotional poverty. And it's made me realise that knowledge alone means nothing unless you can affect your life in some way. So I guess from that you're going to think I'm going to say that applied knowledge is power. Yes and no, and more no than yes, and here's why. I'll give you a couple of examples from my life where I made mistakes on application of knowledge. One was a near miss on something I didn't know. The other was me applying something I did know but applying it in the wrong way. So two examples from my life. The first is taken from the football pitch. I was involved in women's football for many years and we were playing Chelsea in an FA Cup game. Very high octane, 20 minutes into the game, it's 0-0. I'm tracking back defensively and running backwards because I've got an attacker with the ball coming at me. And as I'm running backwards, my ankle turns in a dip in the ground and I sprain it quite badly. It was classed as a grade 3 sprain, so that was me out of the match. And what was interesting was when I went to the hospital, the physio said to me, Anita, it's really important after you apply the hot cold treatment that you stretch your ankle in this particular direction. And she showed me which direction she meant. And I didn't know that. And had I not known that, the difference it would have made was that my ankle would have healed, but it wouldn't have healed correctly, and I would have been vulnerable to more injury in the future. So with that piece of knowledge, I thankfully applied it correctly. My ankle did heal and I got back into the game several weeks later. So there's an example of a near miss. The second one is taken from business. And historically, I've never been great at strategic marketing or positioning my coaching services. And so I decided to hire a mentor to teach me how to do that. Got on this mentorship course. It was very interactive. We were given some homework to do about positioning. I applied it, I worked hard, thought I did it correctly, until I went on to the live webinar where I was the case study. And my mentor said, Anita, great effort, but you've got it wrong. And it was a really sobering moment for me. And thankfully he taught me, walked me through it, taught me where I was going wrong. The lights came on for me. The second time round I applied it, I got it right, thankfully, and got good feedback. So there was an example of something I thought I was applying right on the topic of positioning, but I applied it wrong. And the variable in that is how well you're able to learn, but how well you're taught as well. And when it's something new, it's not uncommon to see this thing happen. And I in fact come across coaching clients who think they're applying certain processes in the right way, but they're actually applying it wrong. And the common one is visualization. I get people saying, Anita, I've applied it, it doesn't work. And then when I ask them to walk me through their process, it turns out that they're either applying the right thing in the wrong way, or they're not practicing a new skill with any degree of frequency. And of course, if you don't do that, you're not going to get any lasting progress. So there's a couple of examples from my own life. My conclusion is this: it's not the application of knowledge that is power, it is the effective application of knowledge that is power. That knowledge that you're able to take and apply to great effect in your life and make a difference. They'll leave you with an exercise that might be really helpful for you, and it requires a little bit of courage to just look this straight in the face and be honest with yourself. I want you to take a piece of paper and list down one side the personal development processes or techniques that you currently apply, what you know in theory, okay? And I want you, beside each one of them, to also then rate them, maybe on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being woeful, 10 being brilliant, how well you apply that particular process or technique. And one of the ways to know that is the effect it's having on your life. Keep it simple. And where you feel that you've scored not so well, I want you to highlight those areas and allow that to form the basis of the next stage of your personal development. And there are lots of ways in which you can address that personal development, but it's got to be your ownership in it. You can hire a coach, a mentor or a teacher, but make sure you pick somebody that you can relate to and that you can understand their teaching. You know, somebody who's very good at teaching. That's really important. Or you don't have to do that. For me, nature has been a great teacher for me and continues to be. Football has taught me so many things about life. There are opportunities that will come up in your life that will provide learning for you that don't have to cost you anything. But have a think about what that might be for you. You form your own personal development plan, and if I can help in any way, of course, get in touch with me. So have fun with that, and remember, it's the effective application of knowledge that is the only thing that really matters. Have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye for now.